Konnichiwa, bitch.
Alright, man, it's that time. It's the end of the year. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. It's that time, you know what I mean? The top 25 hip-hop albums of the year. Listen, man, this year has been great. It's honestly like one of the best years in a very, very long time. One of the best years in the 2020s decade. Probably like top two. I would say 2022 is a pretty goated year. Maybe this year is better, but I feel like that would be recency bias saying that this was the best year. But nah, this year was really, really great. It started off a little slow, but then the second half was just fireworks the whole entire time. Usually with all of these, I kind of have an EP of the year or, you know, a non-hip-hop album of the year. I don't really have that, really. Honestly, besides hip-hop, my music consumption has gone down significantly, which is actually really, really sad. I'll be, you know, on vacation. That'll be a good time to catch up, I guess. With that being said, we're going to be talking about the hip-hop albums of the year. Like I said, this year has been great, and we're just going to be talking about the best of the best. I will say, with this top 25 this year, I'm not really going to go in depth with, like, the first 15 projects. I'll talk about 10 through 1 a lot, you know, more in depth, I guess, but 25 through 11, not so much. I don't want to steamroll through them, but we're gonna make things a little efficient. I know what y'all came here for, and I'm gonna give it to you. However, with every single list, we have honorable mentions, so I got 5, so I'm gonna state them right now. First honorable mention, The Great Bailout by More Mother, You Only Die Once by Freddie Gibbs, The Genuine Articulate by The Alchemist, We Still Don't Trust You by Future and Metro Boomin, and Across the Tracks by Boldy James and Conductor Williams. Those are my honorable mentions. Pretty solid albums. I think the only one that would be actually in the top 25 had I listened to it more is probably the More Mother Project. I think that album is great. I really just have to be in a mood to listen to it. But yeah, those are the honorable mentions. Definitely do check those out. And now we're just going to go right into 25, which is Different Type Time by Cavalier, Backwoods Studios' very own. He dropped 2 projects this year. This one was my favorite one out of all of them. A lot of good vibes on there. Definitely do tap in. Man can rap his ass off. Number 24, we have The Skeleton Key by Rock Marciano and The Alchemist. Follow up to The Elephant Man's Bones back in 22. They're back with a new one. Short and concise, straight to the point, and on top of that, way more cohesive. Definitely enjoyed this project. Did do a reaction to it if you want to check it out. At 23, we have Mike and Tony Seltzer with Pinball. Mike hopping on some beats that are definitely a change of pace that show a lot of versatility. He kind of flexes some different muscles in his bag that you didn't really know he had. Next one we have is Aliko Igama and Dad Songs with Could Have Said More. Philly rapper Aliko Igama is back with another project. This is his second project. One he had with Jay Cinema that he dropped earlier this year. Now with the solo project, all produced by Dad Songs. Definitely a solid effort. Feels like an intermission album for something bigger in the future, but this is pretty solid if you like some abstract hip-hop. Next one we have is Love the Ominous Word by Blue in Exile. One of the greatest rapper-producer duos of all time, back with another project. Not my personal favorite project they have done in the past, but again, they show more consistency on why they're so great together. Definitely hitting you with a lot more LA-centric sounds on this one. Blue is Blue. At number 20, we have We Don't Trust You by Future and Metro Boomin. This is definitely gonna go down as, you know, a future trap classic. I feel like just how iconic the features are. From the cover art to the features to the individual songs, vintage Future at its finest. There's not one moment where you're kind of getting drained. It's just continuous banger after banger, but then you get that light touch of some more lighter trap music throughout, but you cannot forget about that groundbreaking K-Dot feature. At number 19, we have Almighty So 2 with Chief Keef. Then at 18, we have Saheem by Sa Baby. Goddamn Viking is one of the songs of the year. At 17, you have Vince Staples with Dark Times. This album definitely has grown on me. Vince Staples' best album writing-wise, and I really like the oxymoron flip with, you know, Dark Times and how sonically it sounds a little lighter, but the topics are pretty damn dark. At number 16, we have Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. Great debut project from Doechii. TDE's next up-and-coming star, and she is just gonna continue to do great things in 2025. I 100% guarantee it. At number 15, we have the two legends, Common and Pete Rock with The Auditorium Volume 1. At number 14, you have Memoirs in Armor by Navy Blue. At number 13, we have Samurai by Lupe Fiasco. Pay, writing in this perspective of Amy Winehouse as a lyrical rapper. Really, really hard, if not impossible, to match up with Lupe's penmanship, and the way that he displays everything throughout this whole entire project is so well done. And honestly has some of my favorite Lupe Fiasco songs ever. At number 12, we have Renee's Silver Coins by Tommy Renee, a rising artist coming out of the DMV, if I'm correct. Somewhere around there, DMV, Richmond area, yeah. Abstract hip-hop artist, self-produced. This is a great, great intro mixtape on what Tommy has to offer. Very infectious beats, hooks, flows, and honestly has some of the most compelling, glitchy, abstract hip-hop that I've heard in a very, very long time. At number 11, we have King of the Mischievous South Volume 2 by Denzel Curry. There's a complete edition to this, but I prefer the mixtape edition just because of how much more concise this is. I definitely like the whole aesthetic of a old school Memphis cassette tape. If you just want banger after banger after banger, check this album out. At number 10, we have 0 Forward with Lotus. I Am Biased, 100%. It's executive produced by yours truly. Talk about a masterclass when it comes to writing and structuring beats. I think this is some of the best sample work I've heard since Burning Desire that dropped last year. The whole concept of this album about self-growth and acceptance, and all culminating to tracks like Alone and Lotus, Prince, Shattered Bloodlines. I think this is honestly is a very, very beautiful project. Going into number 9 spot, in contrast to the happiness, we also have a very, very angry project in Revelator by Elucid. If you want some of the craziest, darkest production of the year, and with the most abstract writing you have ever heard in your life, definitely do check this out. It's really hard to kind of compare anybody to Elucid and what he's doing. He's definitely in a lane of his own. Tracks like World is Dog, CCTV, hell, even Instant Transfer and In the Shadow of If. Like, there's tracks here that are so sinister but ethereal at the same time that the sound palette on here should be studied. At number 8, we have Rich Ass Haitian by Makami, coming through with another great project. The consistency within his discography solo-wise is just something else. Makami with elite rapping, going very, very in-depth about the political issues that are going on in Haiti, and also while simultaneously showing off that rich lifestyle. A lot of duality within this project. At number 7, we have Why Lord by No Worries, Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. Like I said before many times, this duo is amazing. Knowledge, one of the greatest producers of all time, coming together with Anderson .Paak, who is definitely an exceptional artist in his own right. I think everything about this project, on Anderson .Paak's side, he finally found it in regards to writing and performance. Vocals sounding great, and also telling the story of his divorce on here. If the prior project was his player era, this is his pain and despair era. And yeah, you definitely feel it throughout. At number 6, we have Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. My favorite Schoolboy Q project by far. Schoolboy Q rapping with a chip on his shoulder again, and creating some of the most refreshing hip-hop I've heard this year. The structuring of this project is absolutely amazing. I love all the twists and turns throughout, and all kind of building a whole aesthetic of leaving people speechless, having something to prove. Like, Schoolboy Q really brought it here. At number 5, we have Shadowbox by Mavi, one of the most heartfelt, deep, heart-wrenching projects of the year. Mavi gets really dark on here, with some tones of optimism throughout. The internal struggles that he has, how he displays that throughout this project with such detail, is honestly beautiful. This is arguably his best project, I feel like, when it just comes to his pen. The sonics on here, very dope as well. At number 4, we have I Laid My Life Down For You by JPEG Mafia, an album that I wasn't too mind blown about, honestly, but over time, this motherfucker Peggy just gets me hooked and addicted every single time. He is one of the best artists of this generation. It's not even close. How he creates these worlds with these beats and just the fucking chaotic mess, but still it makes sense. Honestly, it's fucking insane. This is probably his most cohesive project to date. It's really, really hard to hate Peggy, especially with everything that he brings to the table, all his intangibles. At number 3, we have Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. Tyler in his most personal form, honestly. The parallels between this and like an album like Mr. Morale are so close together, and how, you know, his perception of love and tries to figure out what he really wants and how it kind of all relates to what happened to his parents is honestly very, very well put together. Probably one of, if not the best produced project of the year. There's really not much to dislike about this project, man. The song structures are there. He definitely goes crazy with the bridges and the synth work, and the way he orchestrates the features, as always, is always a treat. Number 2, we have is GNX by Kendrick Lamar. It made a whole surprise West Coast centric project. How he structured this, how straight to the point and concise this project is. Kendrick had a lot to say. He was on some violent timing this whole entire year, and he was not holding back on this project. Oh, while you also, you know, sprinkle in some light stuff like Luther, Gloria, and Dodger Blue, you definitely get an album from Kendrick that has some of his best bangers ever, honestly. If you say that he's the greatest rapper of all time, I would not be mad at you. He's made the case already, but this, you know, continues to solidify that even more. And then at my number 1 spot, we have The Thief Next to Jesus by Ka. Even before his passing, I had this at my album of the year, and I still feel that way now, and this album hits even more harder because of how haunting it actually is, kind of in the context of him actually being gone. Rest in peace, Ka. Some of the most, you know, thought-provoking lyricism and writing I've heard this year. My reaction to it, I like how in awe I was with this project in my first reaction. I still feel like that. I still feel that every single time. You know, tracks like Bread, Wine, Body, Blood, Soul and Spirit, Lord Have Mercy, Such Devotion. It's his best album to me. And honestly, like the sound palette of this is probably the most interesting and I've heard since, like, you know, Manger on McNichols. Honestly, like this production is so haunting, but also, you know, probably the most compelling shit I've heard in a very, very long time. It's some of the greatest, you know, poetry ever written. Like, this should be, you know, being taught in fucking schools. Yeah, I love the themes and concepts of, you know, religion and black flight and how he intersects in all of those and talks about the hypocrisy in religion and whatnot. There's a lot of layers within this project, a lot of things to dig deep in, and the way he kind of fleshes it out throughout the whole entire thing, it's absolutely insane. Ka is one of the greatest writers ever. He'll go down as that. And yeah, there's not really much touching Ka and what he does. So rest in peace, Ka. He got my album of the year. Yeah, that's what I got, man. That is what I got. What a year. There's not really much to say. I'm looking forward to 2025. I'm looking forward to making some big moves with this channel in regards to being consistent again. I'm gonna try and go full force on this channel, kind of grind pedal to the metal, do my 9,000 hours on this channel again. You know, ever since 2022, I've kind of been pretty hit or miss. I'm looking to get back on that again. My upload schedule is still gonna be fucked. Like, I'm not gonna be uploading on Fridays or Saturdays. I will be like 2 or 3 days late on every single album reaction or review, depending if I'm out of town or not. That is my number 1 goal with this channel. Like fuck all the growing and shit. My goal next year in big 2025 is to be more consistent, drop more content for y'all, but also fucking bring it back to the days where, like, we're covering hip-hop, bro. Like, fuck all these journalists and all that shit. Like, we're doing the real shit, you know what I mean? I'll always be as real and honest about, you know, my opinions, about my takes, and, you know, because I love this shit. We're gonna bring back the consistency, just, you know, maybe a day or two a little late, because, you know, work schedule and X, Y, and Z. Busy man, what can I say? High value. Where are the women at? It was a great year. I'm looking for a great year in 2025. I know it's going to be a great year. Got more work in the works on the music side coming along the way. I am executive producing more projects, so hopefully that won't halt the upload schedule either. But, you know, I'm looking to make more moves in regards to this and that at the same time. I'm gonna be like a fucking child when all this new music comes out. I'm gonna be a child, a kid in a candy store, fucking child on Christmas Day in just the month of January. Like, there's so many crazy releases, so I'm looking forward to it. Hope y'all stick around for the ride, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about the list. Put your list down in the comments below, and yeah, like, subscribe for more, bell icon for notifications, all that jazz. Yeah, see y'all in 2025. Peace.